Flintstone, bust down, color Americana. Fruity Pebble, Bezel, Wilma, Betty, Fred, and Barney. Bad, from out of town, I think she modeled at McCombie. Wrist game, lucky charmy, told my jeweler leprechaun me. I'm a come clean, I got weed. Paranoia got me rolling in my sleeve, okay. Dating cause I'm up and up the feed. Whole team got these on the tees all day. I got so much beef, I could beat.
The veteran kicker, Robbie Gould, set to get us started. 22 men ready to do battle. It's time to dance. A give to the brother of J.J. This is Derek Watt. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think. Because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
We talk all the time about playmakers on offense, but let's face it, there are plenty of playmakers on defense, too. I think we just saw an example of one, didn't we? Not force that incompletion.
Yeah, he's a great corner. They got a couple of them on that side of the football. He'll hit Whitaker in the flat. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Call it a 3-yard gain. And it'll be 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a 1st down throw, Watson. And the Raiders have got him.
Sack, baby. Sack.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Four down.
Back to throw, Watson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Well, someone came to play today.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. We heard about it all week, didn't we? Especially when we visited practice. He thought he had a good matchup in front of him, and he's taking full advantage right now.
3rd and long. It's Watson. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit. And
now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they respond.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vic Beasley in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Here's Schaub. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Now, nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Titan football. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to...
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Now, a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's third down. Now Watson throwing on third and long. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And got his man complete. It's a big play there for Tennessee. 46 yards.
When the big guy rumbles down the center of the field and he gains leverage on a guy trying to cover him, it is really, really tough for the defender to get through him to make a play on the football. That's why guys love to throw that route down the middle, throw it deep, and let the big guy go get it.
And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Four down, check, four down.
On 1st down, Watson. Now he'll let it go deep left side. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. In for the score. And the Titans are able to strike for 6. Quarterback loves the receivers, but sometimes his best friend is that tight end.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it? Because we always talk about the guys out wide and how acrobatic they are. But that tight end, great sight lines, easier throws, they become a bigger and bigger weapon as the NFL.
Gold with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive, 4 plays, and the result in the end, a Titans touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum? Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. The give to Whitaker. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball. And that way, you often control the game.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to the booth right after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Zay Jones was the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pick up there, 26 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
That was a nice grab. Just couldn't get the feet down, right? Needed that toe tap sequence there. Whatever size shoe he's wearing, probably need about a half size.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. This is caught, and he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. To the air yet again, Watson. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Jonnu Smith, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
On the return, it's Josh Ferguson. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now Schaub, and that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. Fozzie Whitaker was the intended target, and that'll make it 3rd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taken in at the 11. So a change of possession here on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. A final shot before the break. Watson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we have come down. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Titans hold the lead, and they'll get the football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to float this one deep right side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Kentrell Bryce picks it, and his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
And this one is incomplete. He was trying to get it to J.U. Chesson, and now it's third down.
What has not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there, and if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
He'll drop to throw. The Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, there defensively to make the play. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He lost two, and it brings up fourth.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it. Somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And it's second down.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off near the 32. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
This is Whitaker. And not much running room. Down to the 32. And defensive back Jamal Adams in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's third down.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Vic Beasley in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
And that's his second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for three. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there, and he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him It did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 47. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Hands to the up man. This is Watt. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
They'll look to throw here. And that's incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Back to throw here. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Davis. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. The tackle by Janoris Jenkins.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Again, they'll go on the ground with Whitaker. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
An interesting defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
To throw is Watson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. A big play there. 59 yards. And the Titans are going to add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score.
Let's go. Green.
They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here we go.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard. They'll set up a throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Hurry up, here we go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Here's Watson looking deep downfield. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And down inside the 10 at the 9. A big play that time for the Titans. 41 yards. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll run with Lynch. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Marshawn Lynch, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead.
Well, without a doubt, all credit's got to go to the runner. Found his way into the end zone, but the defensive guys just not wrapping up well when they try to tackle it.
And that's the thing. You've got to wrap up. A lot of times these days you see guys, they just want to go as hard as they can and throw their body at somebody. That's not old school football, though.
No, old school football is fundamentals. Wrapping up, locking your hands, and trying to get him on the ground.
Gold with the extra point, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. Gold now out to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can we'll get better as we go forward.
12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. They're going to look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for J.U. Chesson that time, and it'll bring up third down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A big 30-yard play on third. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now second down. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. The big left foot of Sebastian Janikowski ready to get us started. Just about time to rock as Toe gets ready to meet leather. On the return, it's Juju Smith-Schuster. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. Leading him out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Deshaun Watson.
Tremendous overall athlete, does everything that you're looking for. Big time in the quarterback run game against their better opponents, but can also operate skillfully from the pocket and can beat you with his mind.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Frosty Rucker breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Faking the give. Now Watson. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Jeremiah Tauchu with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. Now on 4th down, they throw the deep ball, but it winds up to be incomplete.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment. But here, he's one that has to absorb the contact. And as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now Paxton Lynch on 3rd and long. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Watson now to throw. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster, and he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I like what they tried to do there. They didn't get a completed pass downfield, but they came off of a momentum play. Big-time gain on the previous snap, came right back and threw one deep, hoping to catch them on their heels.
Now Watson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Letting one go deep for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. On fourth down, Watson. Caught out left side by Robinson. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on fourth down. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down of this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle, and if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
And he is going to lose yardage here. So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. 3-0 is our score. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. But they face a second and long to start things out. Now a handoff looking right. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So third and long. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Titans will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over first and 10. On first down, it's Watson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there.
4 down.
Throwing again is Watson. Flush to his right. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Eddie Vanderdoes forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. After the sack, they'll come up now third and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
4 down. Set. Green the line.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a fourth down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Dante Hightower able to get in and run him down for a loss of 14. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. to more NFL action on EA Sports after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime report.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do. Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? It's like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here's Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Throwing on third down, Watson. He's going to air one out. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. And he will bring this all the way up to the 30-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
After the interception, here's Lynch. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be a second down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Final play of the half. It's Lynch. It's caught by Treadwell. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers or counters.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. It's a gain of 5, but they're still deep in a hole. 15 yards still to go on third down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
And now Lynch. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Dante Hightower in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
That would be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the third quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Titans are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation. There was an incompletion, they would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across...
And the Raven pressured too much. Down he goes. Eddie Vanderdoes in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
If there's any way they can find something.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They are excited about where they are in this game.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse. And I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Give him 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a third down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A pickup of 5 that time and a first down. They go play action with Lynch. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter.
Hurry up. Here we go. 3-19.
Lynch looking to throw on second. And incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Now it's Lynch. Gets it to Bryce Butler, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammate.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Bryce Butler, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Oh, such great concentration there, going right up against the side of the end zone, but able to get the feet inbound.
There are so many things that go into that catch, and you just mentioned the concentration, being able to catch the football, get your feet down in bounds, hang on to it all the way through the process of the catch. That was a phenomenal play.
That's fielded in the end zone, and they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Charles, I think back to your earlier statement about the visitors being the underdogs needing to win that turnover battle. And this defense, they forced 2 turnovers so far, a big reason why they lead this game.
Yeah, and I know defenses always talk about getting turnovers in bunches, getting those takeaways. 2's not a bunch, but it's plenty in this game, exactly the formula they need. And I got to tell you, partner, I like it when you think back to something I said that actually comes true, that's actually right.
That happens more often than you might think.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And incomplete here on 3rd down. There was the pressure you were talking about, force the incompletion.
And it doesn't always have to end in a sack, does it? Sometimes you can make a good play by forcing the incompletion with the pressure.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Back to throw, Watson. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. A couple of 1st downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Now a 1st down throw, Watson. Looking downfield for Jones. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off inside the 10, and he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Scoring has really been at a premium, and Charles, you got to tip your cap to this defense coming in here. Their offense, too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up, an exclamation point on a terrific game. As you noted, hard for them to put points on the board, and they hold them down one more time and finalize things.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Now they try the right side here. And he'll power his way up near the 25. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back, and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. And with the play clock reading 4, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. They start the drive with Lynch. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. That's a 1st down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Watson now to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw. Unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Tease Tabor. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. There's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number is...
I live with birds come in. Sounds like I see it in there. I'm on your turf again. This, that, from the back of the... I got a girl, Brett. She go to battle. LOD load the tech. I go in back of the... They all from it. My diamonds, they all look at this, that. They step on the rock, though, man. I'm a cave at 100K. I found out where you lay at. I got the lurking. Pockets stay fat. I got the from the block and they scamming, they know what banks at. I got the work on the avenue, they know what tanks at. I got the live in the mansion, they know what that. I got some that's up in the jelly, they know what that. I came on top of the building, yeah, man. We had a plan. We came on top of the building, yeah, man. We never ran. Down there, thought that I had a fan. Oh, hey, any 10 o'clock, got a flight out. Yeah, I'm going back out to Japan. I got 2 Billy truck and a bitch door with a land. Bruce Wayne, I'm Batman. Batman, I'm best man. I got my best man. I go to hotels when I step out. Yeah, your boy got a doorman. I go to nightclubs for the... Yeah, they call me the madman. I ain't no madman.